And welcome back to Midday, everybody. Angela Stander is joining me now. She's the overdose prevention coordinator for the Utah Department of Health. And sitting next to her is Will Ferguson, and he is in recovery from an opioid addiction. Welcome, both of you. Glad you're here. Angela, let's start with you. Utah 7th in the nation for opioid overdose deaths. That's not a great number.
No, absolutely not. It's a nationwide issue, but Utah, we're not exempt here. I mean, we've been leading the nation for a while with this issue.
Why do you think that is? Do we know?
We prescribe a lot more in this state. So anytime that we prescribe more, we're going to see more issues with addiction and misuse and abuse of these types of medication and overdose death as well.
Well, you're seeing billboards about this. You're seeing people talk about it. Do we all know what an opioid is?
Most people don't. We've found that most Utahns don't even know what an opioid is. Even if they know the dangers, they don't realize they have it in their cupboard. An opioid, usually you're taking that home after surgery of something from an acute injury, maybe wisdom teeth. So your common opioids are your Oxycontin, any hydrocodone generic versions, Lortab, Vicodin, Percocet. These are some of the common ones that people don't realize they're taking home from the pharmacy and the dangers that come along with those.
And these are being prescribed by doctors, right? So you think they're safe?
Yeah, that's the biggest issue is they're perceived as safe, and there's no dangers because they're prescribed by a doctor. But these are still really risky substances, even when used as directed.
So we're asking doctors not to prescribe these as frequently, but what about us?
Yeah, we understand that we can't put all that pressure on doctors because there's a lot of patient backlash. So we as a public need to understand that when a doctor is hesitant to prescribe it is because they're trying to protect us, that there is risk, and we need to start being a society that doesn't expect a pill to solve everything and know that their benefits don't outweigh the risk.
If you would like more information from the Utah Department of Health, there is a website that people can check out.
Absolutely, epidemic.org. You can find out more about opioids and what to do if you are in trouble.
Will, unfortunately, you know a lot about this issue. Tell us your story.
I hurt my back playing basketball, and I took pills to play, and I got addicted. I started taking them, and then I came back to Utah, and I didn't realize I was addicted until I started feeling crappy, and so I ran into a friend that taught me how to ride them, and so I did prescription frauds I've been doing it for 20 years off and on, but I've gone to the depths. Like, people don't really realize what addiction is. I mean, people shoot up, they put a needle in their arms, they do the craziest things. I took, my parents died of cancer. I took their Tylenol, I took their pills out and put Tylenol in it and took the pills, and they thought that they were taking pain pills, and that's what addicts do. They do the craziest stuff.
And you never pictured yourself in that spot?
Never in a million years. I never thought that I would go to those depths. I mean, some of the things that I've done is just absolutely, it blows me away that I went to those depths.
Will speaks now to high school students, and he's hoping to speak to more and get awareness out there. What is the key to prevention, Will?
I think it's being straightforward. I think here, especially in Utah, everybody's so afraid to be brutally honest. Schools are really afraid to have people come in and be honest and be straightforward. And I think that needs to be addressed. I think a lot of schools only deal with things a few times a year, and this is like an epidemic. It needs to be dealt with all the time. I went to a class, and I talked to 4 classes, about 30 students, and I asked every one of them how many people they know that are using drugs in their school right now, and 3/4 of them raised their hand. It blows me away.
High school kids.
Yep.
High school kids raising their hand. Thank you so much, Will, for sharing your story. Angela, thank you for being here. For more information about Will, you can go to his website, which is oneaddictspurpose.com. Go to our website. We can link you to both. This is such an important issue to talk about, you two. Brian and Emily, back to you.